Generally speaking, I don't think I'd review a DLC pack from a WWE game. But given the time period and given the nature of this DLC pack, I feel like I should probably review it, even if I am a little bit late on it. But today or tonight, I'm going to be reviewing the DLC pack, that being the Farewell Tour DLC pack, to which it is the third time 2K has done this, where they basically drop a separate edition of the game, like just way later in the year. And yeah, they drop a separate edition of the game way later in the year to what I would assume is to just help boost sales with someone that is relevant with the WWE. Like 2K23, they had a Bad Bunny edition. At 2K24, they had the Bray Wyatt edition because Bray Wyatt had died the earlier year. And I'm pretty sure something just messed up. I don't know. Hopefully, it didn't mess up too much. But yeah. And this year, they have the Farewell Tour edition, which is based off of John Cena because he is retiring next month at Saturday night's main event out in Boston. So, understandably, this is, the thing. Now, the thing is, too, this DLC pack is kind of weird. Like, really, really weird. In fact, the only brand new thing you get out of this is R-Truth dressed as John Cena, also known as Ron Cena, because his name is Ron Killings. But yeah, so it includes four superstars. Well, technically three superstars, but two versions of this same superstar. So you have Ron Cena, then you have Brock Lesnar, who hasn't made an appearance, who makes his first appearance since 2K23 because what happened? He had this thing going on with the Vince McMahon scandal and was, like indirectly referenced in that, and they made WWE pretty much like quietly cut ties with him essentially or something like that. But if like earlier this year, Brock Lesnar came back and attacked Cena, and he became part of the Farewell Tour, and he ended up beating Cena, I think, at one of these Saudi Arabia events or one of these events not too long ago. So it's understandable. I'm pretty sure they just had Brock Lesnar on file, and it was just like, let's just throw him in the game because he's there. So yeah. And then you have the John Cena versions. You have WrestleMania 41 John Cena with the heel entrance where he walks to the ring instead of runs. Now, I'll be honest, the entrance is fine. I don't care for it. And then they have '03 Cena, which I also find kind of weird considering '03 Cena makes his last appearance, I think, like in the last game, I think, if I'm correct. At least Cena as the doctor of thugonomics, because one thing I forgot to mention with my 2K24 review is that the amount of past versions of a superstar is egregious. Just to briefly mention it, the superstar with the most amount of versions of himself is John Cena in that game. I can't remember all of them, but most of them come from that stupid ass Firefly Funhouse match with Bray Wyatt. Even Bray Wyatt has like the second most or something like that. But basically, you have rapper Cena from that in that game, and then you have '03 Cena from 2K23. So it's kind of weird why this version of Cena is DLC all of a sudden, despite him appearing in like the last two games. It's kind of like how they had Drew McIntyre appear as DLC in not 2K17 but WWE 13. Yeah, for some reason they had Drew McIntyre appear as DLC, and they had Natalia appear as DLC, which yeah I find kind of bizarre. But yeah, if I were to prefer a specific version of John Cena to appear as DLC, I'd probably go for '05 Cena. But then again, you don't really get anything new out of that. I don't know. But one thing that kind of irritates me about this is the fact that like neither Cena has any new moves or like any new entrance. I mean, you know, WrestleMania 41 has a new entrance motion, but even then, like you have 2025 John Cena from like my faction, which you could unlock as a persona card. I'm just gonna assume that it has the exact same entrance. The only difference is with some entrance gear. Now, to make up for the kind of lackluster account in the superstars, they have some pretty decent John Cena gear in the custom creation suite. Now, it's fine. I like it. I do like it, but I don't really care enough to like really notice it. I guess like as at least right now, they basically just have some shirt. They have like 3 or 4, maybe 5 shirts and like 2 hats to accompany, this. So it's not awful or anything like that. So, if I were to have any complaints, I'm not too big on Brock Lesnar not having any ring gear. He's dressed up in his street gear, and as I mentioned before, there are no new moves like being introduced within John Cena. Now, granted, you could say, well, John Cena has been doing the same moves for his whole career. Yeah, but his moveset was different. Why is Cena doing the sunset flip? Why is '03 Cena doing the sunset flip or doing an Emerald Flosion or doing that last symphony thing that Gunther does? Or why is he doing a springboard stunner? Or why is he doing the five knuckle shuffle? Now, the five knuckle shuffle, honestly, I'll say this about that move. Out of all the moves, out of all the moves that got censored, all the move names that got censored from John Cena, because he has 3 moves that are like dirty, that are basically just dirty jokes. I'm kind of surprised the five knuckle shuffle is was the one to just withstand that. Like they couldn't just call it the shuffle or something like that. Now I'm not complaining. I literally just learned what a five knuckle shuffle was not too long ago. But like they changed the FU to the attitude adjustment, the STFU to the STF. So it's kind of funny that they made a masturbation joke. Just ride, I guess. Just ride. But anyways, what I'm saying is that the five knuckle shuffle, Cena wasn't doing the five knuckle shuffle until like really late in 2003. So I think his signature, like even if you went back to SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, his signature move was a spin out power bomb. Even if you go back to like older games, like I want to say 2K23, 2K19 also he had a spin out. No, 2K19 he had the finisher of the spin out power bomb. So that was like before he faced Brock Lesnar or feuded with Brock Lesnar. But yeah, overall the moves are kind of inaccurate. Now 2025 Cena, like WrestleMania 41 Cena, that's fine. I don't expect him to have any new moves because like it's the modern day Cena. So, and besides John Cena's heel run, while it was pretty trash, like so trash that WWE tried to retcon it in front of our faces. Um, I mean, at least he didn't cost 2K any extra money by not doing any new moves because he said that he wasn't going to change anything. Like, he wasn't going to change his gear, he wasn't going to change his theme song or anything, or he wasn't going to change his moves. So, only thing that really changed was his entrance motion, I guess. So, yeah. Ron Killings, Ron Truth, Ron Cena. Um, I should probably talk about him as well. He's basically just R Truth with a John Cena entrance. He's dressed up as John Cena and he does John Cena's finishers, the five knuckle shuffle and the attitude adjustment. But I think he also has his own finishers and signature. Like the lie detector and that corkscrew axe kick that he does. So it's nice. R Truth for some reason has a pretty absurd. I won't say absurd amount of different versions to himself, but it's kind of weird that R Truth has like 2 different versions of himself. That's him just dressed up as somebody else. Like the other one being him being dressed up as a Judgment Day member, which I forgot that he had that whole storyline where he was acting like he was in the Judgment Day, and he had that Live Laugh Love shirt, that dumbass Live Laugh Love shirt. Um, but yeah. Anyways, the DLC is solid. It's not anything special. Um, I wish they put a little more effort into it. I wish they included like an arena or something like that. I mean, I can't really say I wish they included a John Cena Legacy Championship because they already did that in 2K23. Honestly, it's kind of it's kind of weird how things just kind of turned out. Like John Cena, announces his retirement and 2K drops this DLC pack, And it's not like they can just go ahead and do a John Cena showcase. I mean, they probably could do a part two to the showcase, but at the same time, people will probably not want to buy it. But maybe at the same time, they might. I don't know. But because John Cena already had a showcase mode for 2K23, like literally just 2 games ago. So, I mean, I will review that as well. But overall, just speaking, I wish 2K put a little more effort into the DLC pack. The DLC pack as a DLC pack, not as a game, I would give it a smooth 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10, not bad, but it's not good either. I'm pretty tired too. I'm sorry about that. You know, but yeah, but what they have is solid, I guess. But it's nothing special at all. It's really nothing special. I really just spent 11 minutes talking about this, huh? Well, have a blessed night. Jesus loves you. I'm out.